now we are talking with Colleen Hanabusa, who won her campaign back to the U.S. House. I want to talk to you a little bit about your campaign because we talked with Tulsi, we also talked with Maisie. They spent a lot of money on their campaigns. Yours, the least of the three, and yours was the closest of the three as well. Do you think spending on the campaign had anything to do with it?
No, I don't think the spending necessarily did. But when you look at, for example, Maisie's race, you had a lot of super PAC money coming in as well. And then when Tulsi had some support from the outside as well with the vets. And in our race, you didn't have any of that. I think my race is because I basically beat Charles Dejoux, the incumbent, and he's the first incumbent congressperson to ever lose an election for the same seat anyway. And he was just 2 years ago that we matched up. So I think a lot of it is more in line with that. And I think the first re-election for anyone is always going to be the tough re-election. And it wasn't an open seat. It was a seat he had held and I hold now. I think that's more it than anything else.
Now, when you head back to Washington, not only will you be heading back as the incumbent, back to your old office, you're going to be heading back as a mentor, as the senior representative from Hawaii.
Yes.
You were talking a little bit about that you're going to be taking on this role.
Yes, Steny Hoyer, who is the minority whip, has put into place a mentorship program. We call it a buddy system. And having gone through that 2 years ago, I can't tell you what a great asset it will be, because we were sort of just feeling our way around. But with this program in place, I have not only Tulsi, but the new representative from Arizona as well. And what I hope to do is to make their transition as painless as possible, because there's just so many different nuances that no one really knows till you get there. And I want to share with them everything that I know. And also, to my staff is all ready to step up to the plate as well.
I know you're celebrating tonight, but I got a little bit of business to ask you about, because the rail issue was a big one here in Hawaii. And I know that there have been talk in the House about cutting some of that funding for rail. Because of what happened in this election, is that money a little bit safer, or is it still at risk?
Well, in the House budget did cut New Start programs, but as you know, that's not the final budget. So remember always, that was what was so critical about Maisie's election, is Senator Inouye's role as the chairman of appropriations, because that then will ensure that the funds will probably be there in the negotiation process as they conference the bills. It will be a very strong statement now, because of this election is viewed as basically a referendum on rail. In addition to that, though, remember it is up to the FTA to decide whether or not the full funding agreement will go forward. And I believe that with the results of this election that the recommendation will be made and it probably will be signed.
You mentioned Senator Inouye. He's the senior senator, obviously, there on the Senate side of things in Washington. But now the women outnumber the men. Are you ladies going to take it easy on him there?
You know, we are very fortunate that we have Senator Inouye, and we have to not necessarily take it easy on him, but we have to keep him happy and keep going, because Hawaii depends upon him in more ways than people realize. That he is what makes the federal parts of this state work so well, and that is thanks to Senator Inouye. So what we are there to do is do our best to help him and to supplement what he does. But I don't believe anyone can really do what Senator Inouye does anywhere in the United States.
Thank you. Congratulations on your win, and once again, good luck in Washington.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We're once again talking with Colleen Hanabusa, winning her race for the U.S. House. And as you can see behind me, you may not be able to see it too well, but the folks are clearing out because all the contests are over. Many happy faces, smiles here tonight because of the victories by Democrats like Colleen and the rest of the folks here at the Democratic Party headquarters. So we're going to go ahead and send things back to you in the studio.